We are here to do your channel messages and what I see for your star sign in each month. Now, if you do like this content, remember to click the bell. And also we do have a brand new edition, which is the Romance Zone. So stay tuned for that. I will be bringing those channel messages with the tarot live by mid-month. So if you do wish this content ahead of the game, you can join a YouTube membership where I pre-release these a week ahead. Take care, and let's have a look at what I see for your zodiac sign this month. Beautiful Pisces, welcome back. We're here to do your star sign for March 2023 and beyond. If you do need a personal booking, you can go to the link directly below. We are going to get you unpacked and ready for March and what I physically see coming through for you. Now, this month is coming through in two pockets, and it is because of some major big boy transits coming through this month. Number one, we do have Saturn entering into your zodiac sign, Pisces. It is going to be there until 2025. We also, further into the month, will have Mars exiting Gemini and entering into the house of Cancer, which can bring its own strain of problems. However, some of us will be very grateful for that very long energy to move away to clear the decks. So sing kumbaya to that one. Pluto also will be shifting out of its 20-year cycle, not permanently, temporarily, at the 29-degree point on the 23rd of March 2023. It will then transit over into the house of Aquarius at 0 degrees, both deemed as the critical degree point. Now, really in the mix of things, we are also going to have a lot of energy happening in the placement of Aries. On the 12th of March, take a note, we are having a once in a 50-year transit, which is Jupiter in Aries, making a conjunction to Chiron in Aries. And that can be one circle that we want to write down in our calendar and be aware of it. I will mention where these things will come up and how to directly navigate that situation most effectively. I do particularly feel this month you are in a wellness setting. You're going to be really thinking about your identity. You're going to be thinking about your purpose. You're going to be quite self-focused. And I don't actually see this as a negative thing. I feel it's having to, look at your health, maybe look at the way you're caring for yourself, looking at your mindfulness. And I do feel spiritually a lot of you are going to be quite psychic over the next few years. So we can deem it as an ascension process. We can deem it as something where you will be quite susceptible and intuitive. But I also feel you can be really knuckling down and ready for some radical changes. As we move to March the 7th, Saturn is entering your house. For some of you that know more, especially if you're having a sudden return, definitely research that further. There can be big changes happening in your life, especially with the way you handle circumstances. On the 7th, we also have a full moon in Virgo at 16 degrees. For you, this can be some deep changes and clearing, especially relating to love. And I do feel there can be new chapters. This also can relate to your image and the clothing that you wear, the food that you eat, the luxuries that you physically have, and really actually checking the status quo and opening up a brand new chapter. I do particularly feel if there was healing and emotions relating to a past, I do feel some of that can come up, and it can be a time that you are looking back to the earlier days, how things were versus how they are now. But there definitely is an opportunity here where it can be opening up the gate. We may need to be cautious because potentially with Mars and Gemini, it can be aggravating that location just for a little longer, even though this is linked for you in your 4th house, which is home, family, children, your daily routine. I do particularly feel it's going to dissipate, but just to be mindful if you are in a connection, to be really aware. I really, truly do believe at this point we are really moving into March with a serious audit and a change. Some of the problems may dissipate. Some of them can be amplified due to avoidance of subjects. Virgo also in an energy, when we look to the moon, it can be our home environment. It may be our emotions. It can be our frequency, that we are looking at. Really understanding potentially relationships. And some of you can be really how would I say it? Almost going through with a fine comb, where it comes to your friendships, where it comes to the things you like, the things you dislike, how you interact with love. And I feel you're going to be really reviewing it. You will be not only reviewing yourself, but reviewing the individuals in question. I do feel a lot of you are going to have such a busy schedule. I feel there's a need almost until, I would say, easy the third week of March, being very careful driving. You can be more accident prone. There can be some frustrations, but I do particularly feel there's going to be a lot of communication. And I feel you're instigating it. You're initiating such. Try to keep out of your head. I do feel, especially as we move to the 2nd of March onwards, there is this dynamic where particularly a lot of you can be thinking quite a bit. I do feel the placement of the moon is going to help you deal with any details where it does come to paperwork. Now, on the 12th, we're having Jupiter in Aries making a conjunction to Aries and Chiron. For you, this links to your 2nd house. A few things can play out, and I do particularly feel you're going to be quite focused on building your net worth. This can be having the courage to address a land, material value, assets, budgets related dynamic. The other way this can play out is also your diet. This could be your nutritional value. It may be something you're eating. It could be something that you're dealing with to avoid a problem. What could it be? Could it be a pacifier? Yes, it could be. So if there has been something to that degree that you've been dealing with, maybe you haven't been articulating your feelings to individuals. That is also another way it can play out. So you may be more assertive with people and pushing back and saying, look, this is the way I view such. I do particularly feel there can be some lady luck happening here. And I do feel it's in the first few weeks. This could come in the form of a lucky win. It come in the form of somebody giving something back to you. It also could be coming through your earning potential through career-based frequency. I do feel you're coming through quite assertive by mid-month. I would be very cautious around your social endeavours and budget. I would feel more so towards mid-month. I also feel there are possible pregnancies for some. And I definitely see for those of you that have children, you could become more assertive as the month progresses. This also can be your children. It could directly be a romantic partner where frustration can actually start cropping up. As we move to the second part of the month, we're having a new moon in Aries at 0 degrees on the 21st. Try and pay close attention to this because next month we're having an eclipse in Aries. This also is happening at 0 degrees, so this can be a brand new beginning. You can receive, you might be purchasing a new asset. You could be turning over a new leaf relating to a relationship. You could be courageously dealing with a circumstance. You also could be investigating something that has been hidden from you. I would say as we move to the 16th, be super cautious. We can be more inclined to overeat. I do feel particularly there can be a conversation that plays out, especially if somebody owes you something. I also feel this can be a romantic text message for some of you that you receive and a start of a brand new chapter in love. As we do move to the 23rd, and I would say this can come through a week before and a few weeks after. Pluto is quite a long transit. It has been sitting in the house of Capricorn for about 20 years. It's gradually making its introduction to Aquarius on the 23rd. For you, changes and frustrations around wealth, around your social responsibility, around group endeavors, friendship groups. This can be social clubs. I do feel particularly there's a big change. I do feel it has been difficult to connect with those individuals that's set to evolve. Some of you may have a friend come back and apologize for a grievance or a grudge. I also feel as we have Aquarius moving over to your 12th house. If you have any friends that Aquarius, they're probably the best people at this point in time to have a chat to. They have spent for the last 20 years Pluto transiting their 12th house. Now, 12th house can be a very unique thing. Number one, I would say, is that how can I explain it so that we don't freak out? There's two ways. Number one is when we have retrogrades on a planet that is transiting that house, you generally will get the problematic things and the reflection of those frequencies occurring during that time. So it's not an ongoing dynamic. It's not. It's in a retrograde, a direct, or a hard aspect. You tend to have a little bit of dramas and you can become a bit of a recluse around those times. Now, although we're exiting one karmic cycle, we're entering into a new area. This is where you can physically make your dreams come true. Okay? I do feel a lot of you can be also having a lot of psychic downloads. It's a great way to look after the mind, to believe in new beginnings, to not get stuck in your head. We do deem the 12th house in astrology as it's almost like you can't really place it as one dynamic because it's everything that I'm about to mention. It can be incarcerations, imprisonment, the guru energy, psychic energy. Um, it can be where we overthink things and need to release and make peace with the past. So it can come through in a myriad of ways, but definitely empath energy will come through. This also can show an opportunity where you have the power to change your life and you're entering into a new domain. And I really do feel it's almost like you, Pisces, are having a rebirth. You are going through a brand new stage in your life, like a flower, like the lotus flower, and you're being rebirthed to a degree to have a brand new choice that you consciously can move beyond a wound and achieve those things. I do particularly feel if there are subjects that are quite triggering and testing, if you feel you need to address them, it's a good time to get a coaching session. That can be with anybody you directly trust. I also feel it's important for your zodiac to maybe use crystals. This can be tourmaline, onyx, amethyst, but only really in the mix of, how would I say it, for clarity. I wouldn't use it at all times because activation of the third eye can cause headaches. And at times we need a break. So really gauge when you feel that is going to be needed. I would say increase your fluid. I would say be mindful of your limits, journaling, and being aware that you can have a heightened psychic element to you over the coming years. Do expect big changes, and I definitely feel you're ready, A, in your body to change your life, B, in your emotions to change it. And also, this can be a time when old habits can crop back up. Now, it's not that it has to. It's that if you're aware that a vice has been something that you've used to deal with a dynamic in your life that's been quite testing, try something different. Try to look at it as the non-problem, the non-solution, something that you do, but try to find different means so that whatever that resistance is, whatever that circumstance is, it's chiseled away at, so it's not going to define you. I definitely feel a lot of you are going to have a lot of adventures. You're going to be more social than you thought. You may also have lady luck on your side, so be super open. Definitely see changes in wellness and diet, as well as changes and opportunities in love and career. Love and light, be open to the beautiful dynamics coming, know the transits, and be ready for what's ahead. Take care, beautifuls. I'll see you for the mid month romance reads.